Have you ever looked at a research paper or an academic book and just wondered, how do they get it to look so perfect, so clean and professional? Well, I'll tell you, it's not magic. It's LaTeX. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how to build a document from the ground up, just like an architect designing a building.
So, that's the big question, right? How do you go from a plain, boring text file to a polished, professional publication that really commands respect? We're not just talking about writing words here. We're talking about crafting the entire structure. And honestly, that's where LaTeX absolutely shines. Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we're going to talk about the essentials, the packages that give LaTeX all of its power. Then, we'll build the document skeleton piece by piece. After that, we'll add all the professional stuff at the beginning, the front matter. And finally, we'll wrap up with the details that add credibility and make your document super easy to navigate. By the end of this, you'll have the complete blueprint. All right, first things first, we need to talk about packages. I want you to think of these as your power tools. I mean, you wouldn't try to build a house with just a hammer, right? Same idea here. You shouldn't build a complex document using only the most basic LaTeX commands. So what exactly is a package? Well, simply put, a package is just a bundle of new commands that adds new features. You need to include graphics or create really complex tables. Maybe you're writing some advanced math formulas. Guess what? There's a package for that. You just call them in the preamble of your document. That's just the setup section at the very top where you define all the big picture settings.
Now, packages usually fall into one of two buckets. You've got packages for content and packages for layout. Content packages help you with the what of your document, the actual stuff inside, like math symbols or images. And then layout packages help with the how it looks, controlling things like your page margins or formatting columns. It's a really simple distinction, but it's totally key to building your document the right way.
And here are some of the all-stars. MS Math is going to be your best friend for any document with even slightly complex equations. If you want to put images in your document, Graphicx text is the only way to go. Booktabs will make your tables look incredible, like they came straight out of a professionally published book. And geometry? That gives you total pixel-perfect control over your entire page layout.
Okay, so we've got our tools. Now it's time to actually start building. We're going to start with the document skeleton, the underlying structure that's going to hold everything else together.
And this is where LaTeX starts to feel like actual magic. Instead of you having to manually number everything, is this section 1.1 or 1.2, you just tell LaTeX what's a section and what's a subsection. It handles everything else, creating a perfectly structured, perfectly numbered document without you lifting a finger. It's honestly like having a personal assistant for your document's organization.
So here's the hierarchy, from the very top to the bottom. Part is for the biggest, major divisions. If you're writing a book or a long report, you'll use chapter. Then you've got your everyday commands, section, subsection, and yep, even sub-subsection. Each level just nests right inside the one above it, building out that perfect structure automatically.
Now that our structure is in place, we can focus on the front matter. This is your document's first impression. We're talking title page, abstract, table of contents, all the stuff up front. Getting this part right is absolutely crucial for making your work look professional and credible from page one.
For any kind of scientific or academic paper, the abstract is non-negotiable. It's the short, powerful summary that gives your reader a quick, bird's-eye view of your entire work. And in LaTeX, making one is so easy. You just wrap your summary text inside the abstract environment. That's it.
Now check this out. If you're writing something long, like a book, this is a total game changer. LaTeX gives you these three amazing commands. Front matter switches your page numbering to Roman numerals, perfect for things like a preface. Then main matter kicks off the regular Arabic numbering for all your main content, and back matter handles things at the end, like the index, where chapters are usually unnumbered. It's such a beautiful, elegant system.
Okay, here's a pro tip that will save you so much confusion later. To get a correct table of contents, you have to compile your document at least twice. So why? Well, think of the first run as a scouting mission. LaTeX goes through your entire document and just takes notes of all your section headings and what page they're on. Then, the second run is when it actually uses that information to build the final table. It's a two-step process, and sometimes, if you have really complex references, you might even need a third run.
Next up, we're adding the finishing touches. These are the details that really separate a good document from a truly great one. We're talking about appendices for extra material and a bibliography for citing all your sources. These are the elements that add depth and, really importantly, credibility to your work.
So, the appendix command is super simple but really powerful. It doesn't actually print any text itself. It's just a signal to LaTeX that says, hey, everything from here on out is supplementary material. It then automatically changes the numbering scheme so your next chapters or sections become Appendix A, Appendix B, and so on. It's just a really slick way to organize things. Now, creating a bibliography might sound intimidating, but I promise LaTeX breaks it down into 3 really simple steps. First, you start the bibliography environment. Second, for each source, you add it with the vibitum command and give it a unique key. And finally, whenever you want to reference that source in your text, you just use the cite command with that same key. That's literally it.
So here's what that looks like in practice. That 99 part at the top, that's just a placeholder. It tells LaTeX how much space to leave for the reference numbers. Then you have your
Vibitum command
with a key. I used Lamport and the full citation. So now, anytime I want to reference this book in my text, I just type cite Lamport, and bam, LaTeX automatically puts the correct reference number right there.
All right, we've arrived at our final building block, the index. For longer documents, a good index is absolutely essential. It's basically your document's map, and it lets your readers quickly and easily find the exact topics they're looking for. And once again, LaTeX makes this whole process surprisingly straightforward. First, you load the make_index package. Then, you add the make_index command to your preamble. Remember, that's the setup section at the top. Then, as you write your document, you just tag keywords with index your word. Finally, at the very end of your document, you use the print_index command, and it generates the whole thing for you, fully alphabetized with all the right page numbers. And hey, for those of you who really want to take your indexing to the next level, you should definitely check out the iMakeIndex package. It offers a ton more control and customization options. But honestly, for most documents, that basic process we just walked through is going to work perfectly. So let's just put it all together. What we've done is assemble a complete architectural toolkit. We've got packages for functionality, we have section commands to build the structure, the front matter handles the presentation, the bibliography adds that crucial credibility, and the index provides easy navigation. You now have all the tools you need to build a truly professional document. So with all these pieces in place, you're not just a writer anymore, you're a document architect. The only question left is, what are you going to build?